Rapidly it's increasing. Where's the growth in farm numbers? Well, we just talked about the larger ones, but also the very small. Those two ends are accounting for most of the farm number increases. We actually have 50% of the farms are under 180 acres, and so that would mean the other half is over that. But the very large operations are actually increasing even faster. About half of the farms have sales of $100,000. $100,000 isn't a good metric anymore. That doesn't amount to much. That's about 100 acres of cash rent corn, you know. But that's what they've always used, so for comparison's sake, that's what it is. The other fact is about 20% have sales under $2,500. So these are the operations you're seeing at the farmers markets, roadside stands, custom animal products, something like that, eggs, all those kinds of things. Where Logan County is, we're in the heart of some of the best ground in the world. And we rank 10th in the state of Illinois in sales of crop products, which is amazing since our size puts us closer to about, I think, number 30 acreage-wise in the state. But there's an old saying, if you're looking for good ground, go where the old seed companies were. And there used to be a lot of seed companies around this territory, and that says that the ground's pretty good. We're 10th in Illinois, and we're actually 24th in the nation in crop sales for a county. So that also points out where Illinois is, and our neighbor to the north, McLean County, by sheer volume of acreage, usually leads everything, both state and nationally. As far as the number of producers, when you get into producers, that means different things to different people. There's actually about 1,100 registered entities that are producers at the FSA office. About a third of those are female. Age-wise, 45% are 65 and over. About 45% are 35 to 65, and about 10% are under 35. So, as Betsy said, you know, some of these younger folks, they really need something to get started. It's hard for a family member to get started in agriculture, let alone somebody who's not currently involved and has a lot of the background and the supplies and the equipment, because as most of you involved know what equipment costs, you know, we used to think that a $500,000 combine was the ruination, and now you're lucky if you get one for that. So there's a lot of investment in it. Crops in the county, about 180,000 acres of corn per year, about 160,000 acres of soybeans. The crop ground has actually gone up about 7% in the last 5 years. So that means that they're either clearing, using non-crop areas, converting some of the pastures and so forth into grain production, coming off those super high good years of income. And we only have about 5,000 acres of other crops, period. So it's corn and soybeans. Livestock, about 70,000 acre hog number. 70,000 hog number was our litmus count, I guess. You know, when you're looking at about 2.5 times as many people as people in the county, but that was in 22. Cattle, about 2,000, then everything else is pretty minor. Sheep and chickens, as I recall, were about even at 500, so not many of either one of those. On trends, crop yields are trending up. 10-year average corn yield from Ag Statistics is 212. Soybeans, we don't have a 10-year because we don't have enough reports some years to get a number, but 67 for an 8-year soybean number. And as you can see, everywhere you look as we're handling materials and getting ready to plant and harvest, we're substituting a lot of mechanization and technology for what we used to do with labor. My dad talks about carrying 100-pound bags of fertilizer on his shoulder. We don't do that anymore. Some people don't handle a bag of seed anymore, you know. So it's enabled people to farm longer and be more productive, and that has also led to some of the things with the age of the farmers actually doing it. We're increasing the acres farmed, as I mentioned, about 7% increase in the last 5 years or so. I look for that to go down next year. What are we farming now? Some places it's solar panels, so we're taking some of the ground back out of production and doing some of the alternative energy things with it. Land costs and cash rent, those go together somewhat. We're seeing a slight decrease in both, but not a great decrease yet. Our cash rent values traditionally are placed about a third of gross income on corn acres. So we're still, with very good yields and not really great prices, we're still maybe looking at maybe that $1,000 an acre figure for corn. So that's going to put cash rent at about a third of that. But it takes a lot of bushels at under $4 to get there. Our gross income has remained more steady. Our net income is what's going down because, of course, we've had a great increase in input costs. You know, a lot of people here have sold a lot of corn for under $2 a bushel. You know, through the years. That was back when our cost was a lot less as well. But we continue to see things like that as a challenge, and farmers are. The people who have stuck with it, they ride those ups and downs as we go up and down with the economies and everything, but there's always a job to get done. And so I'll throw out that farmers are among the most faithful people you'll ever find. Who else would scatter a few seeds out into the weather and be at the whim of everything thrown their way and hope for a bountiful harvest, which it looks like we're going to have a good one this year. So with that, I thank you for having me.